Hey guys, Jeff here from BestTechie.com. Welcome to this week's weekly wrap-up. Today I have two really big stories that I want to discuss with you. So without any other further ado, let's jump into it. Today's first story is about, Google, and is it rigged? According to a tweet by President Trump, he wrote that Google search results for Trump news shows only the viewing reporting of fake news media. In other words, they have it rigged for me and others so that almost all other stories and news is bad. Fake CNN is prominent, Republican and conservative and fair media is shut out. Illegal? 96% of results on Trump news are from the national left-wing media. Very dangerous. Google and others are suppressing voices of conservatives and hiding information and the news that is good. They are controlling what we can and cannot see. This is very serious. This is a very serious situation and will be addressed. Now, top economic advisor to the president, Larry Kudlow, is saying that they are exploring the possibility of regulating Google search results. Now, besides the fact that that's just plain old ridiculous, I decided to look into this myself, to do a little examination of Google search results. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I know exactly how the Google search algorithm works, okay? Because I don't. No one really does. If you work at Google, you may know part of how it works. But no one really knows truly. Maybe Larry Page and Sergey Brin and Eric Schmidt probably have the biggest, most complete idea of how it works, right? Or Sundar Pichai. But I did a little investigation on my own, and I took some time to Google Trump news, just like Trump said. And I found some interesting results that I want to share with you. All right. So if you take a look at this screenshot that I have here, you'll see I've done a couple different things. One, you can see I've underlined how there are 772 million results being returned in 0.62 seconds by Google for the search query Trump news. I then went on to do this. There was the very top story result under top stories is by CNN. Just the story about how Don McGahn is going to leave his job as White House counsel. So that's one CNN, or as Trump calls it, fake news media outlet. Then there's another CNN result that talks about a Trump employee. So that's another fake news. But then if you look at the very next one, it's just Detroit news. It has nothing. It's just a paper, a local paper. And then this is what really shocked me. So right now we've had two results, CNN fake news according to Trump, right? But then the very next thing is if you search that pops up in Google are 3 results in a row for Trump's Twitter feed. Now, before I go any further, it's important to mention how Trump loves Twitter. He loves how it's a direct voice of the people. That's why he uses Twitter. He believes that it's a great way to kind of get his message out to the American public unfiltered, without having the media kind of be a gatekeeper of sorts. So if you look back at the results, right, he's right up there, 1, 2, 3. His message is right there. So he's not being censored in any way on Google. And I just find that comical. And then if you keep on going back, if you go back now, to the screenshot, you see the 4th result for video under the video section is a Fox News video. Then you have another result for CNN, so that's another 2 results for CNN actually, so that's 3 and 4. And then if you go down the page to the actual search results, there's an Atlantic article, and then number 5, and then a 5th result for FoxNews.com for an article on Fox News that actually talks about how Trump is ripping CNN. Okay, so that's one set of search results. Now, keep in mind there are algorithms based on how you search, what you click on, what you like, blah, blah, blah. there are so many different factors that go into Google's algorithm. Freshness of stories, the relevancy, there's just so many different things. I decided to wait a few minutes after I did this search, and then I did another search a couple minutes later. So let's take a look at those screenshots, or that screenshot. All right, so here we go. So just so you know, I'm not making this up. Let's take a look. Trump news search query. This time there are way more search results that are being looked at. In fact, 921 million search results this time in 0.8 seconds. The first result is CNN. Second result is also CNN, similar to the articles that we saw in the first search query. In fact, they're very similar. If not, I think they're actually the same. And then the third one, the third result in the top stories is actually a Fox News story that references a Trump tweet about Bruce Orr, which is actually pretty funny. So there's one. Then you have, of course, 2, 3, 4 in the Trump News Twitter feed. Again, all of Donald Trump's tweets going directly to Google search results, right for everyone to see. And then, yes, you have 3, 4, 5 CNN, 6 is CNN, it's essentially the same article that was number 1, just in the search results. And then you have the fifth result, and then the second kind of main result is Fox News. And that's 5. So 6-5 in favor of CNN kind of on the second time, but 5-4 in the first set of results. So, I mean, that's pretty balanced and fair, I think. Especially since Trump's tweets are right there. I mean, that's his main form of communication. What is his problem exactly? I'm not really sure. I think this is all a big nothing, and I just think he's probably angry that he's not getting, the coverage that he thinks he deserves. I don't really want to get into all of that, but I just wanted to point out how ludicrous it is that they're talking about regulating Google search results. There are a lot of First Amendment kind of issues in the way there. I'm not a lawyer. I don't want to get into that. But I just wanted to point out how the results are not as skewed as he's making it seem. Just a quick Google search on your own, you'll see that. And again, everyone will probably have slightly different results. That's just the way Google works. It's about personalization and relevancy and freshness and so many other factors. So keep that in mind. Don't lose your head. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about story number 2. This one really pissed me off. This story is about net neutrality at its core. In California, as you know, there are a lot of fires that take place during, the dry seasons and stuff. And there was one of the largest fires, if not the largest fire in California that happened. And the Santa Clara County Fire Protection District pays Verizon for a unlimited data plan. Well, so they thought was unlimited, right? And what happened was they were fighting these fires. They used their internet to, I guess, track things and I don't really know. I'm not a firefighter. I should ask my friend. But they use the internet to track, I guess, the fire and keep tabs on it and a whole bunch of other things to ensure, maybe communication as well, to ensure that, everyone's on the same page and they know what they're doing. And essentially what happened was, because this fire was so large and they were spending a lot of time on it, they actually started to become, their internet speed started to be throttled by Verizon. Now, what happened was the FPD, the Fire Protection District, started begging Verizon for the public good, in the public's interest. We need to be able to control these fires. Please stop throttling our internet. And essentially what happened was, it wasn't until after the FPD agreed to pay more than double than what they're currently paying for this unlimited internet access from Verizon that they agreed to lift up the throttle and provide them full internet speeds. Their speeds that they were, and this, I'm not just talking about like 1 megabit a second. They were literally experiencing dial-up speeds. Dial-up speeds. That is unbelievable. in the words of Oscar Martinez from The Office. Ridiculous. This would have never happened under net neutrality if net neutrality was still in place. Never would have happened. So yeah, in terms of net neutrality, if the 2015 rules were still in place, this never would have happened. Now, Verizon said this was a mistake on their part, blah, 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 blah. Who really cares, because they're just a bunch of liars over there. Frankly, it's because they can do this now that net neutrality is replaced. Now that it's been repealed. Now this part of the story really bugs me. So if you look back at some of the tweets by FCC employees and Ajit Pai, who's been like, see, we repealed net neutrality, nothing's happened, it's been blah 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 this many days, and like everything's fine, the internet's fine, and well, no, it's really not. Look, this is a tweet by the FCC Chief of Staff. Day 74 of the post-Title II era, that's neutrality. The internet is free and open, and it's the birthday of actress Shelley Long and Barbara Eden. Cheers and sweet dreams. That tweet was published just a few days ago, August 23rd, 2018. So no, Mr. Matthew Berry, Chief of Staff at the FCC, it is not free and open. Net neutrality should not have been repealed. It needs to be put back. You cannot throttle vital services like the fire department's internet speeds when they're fighting fires, and basically hold them hostage to pay more money to you as an ISP. I just can't. So yeah, those were the two stories I wanted to talk about today. Let me get your take. Should Google be regulated? Should Google search results be regulated? First story. Should net neutrality be brought back, or should it stay repealed? Is this a real problem? The fact that these companies can basically hold our, public interest, things hostage, like the fire department or the police department or anything really. I mean, just to get more money, to nickel and dime you, to make more money. Let me know, leave a comment down below. I'm curious to hear from you. And of course, if you haven't already, be sure to check out our podcast, the Techie Bites podcast. We have a wonderful podcast. You can find it on besttechie.com. I highly recommend you check it out. And subscribe, give it a listen. It's on iTunes, it's on Google, it's on everywhere you want it to be. And so if you like this video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. I really would appreciate it. If you really liked it, I'd love if you hit subscribe. If not, well, you can just mosey on along. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And remember, take care of your computers.